In today's video, we're going to look at how to create a slideshow in Joomla using custom fields. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, and thanks for tuning in to watch me work live stream number 57 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. Last two Wednesdays, we had really great live streams looking at the basics of custom fields with Mark DeChevre. Check those out on the channel. Tons of helpful information. I've actually been playing around with custom fields now in some of my projects because the fog has cleared. And so out of that, our channel friend Vinny Hebert told me that he had created a slideshow using custom fields, and I think that is pretty cool because as we've seen with custom fields, it can make it easier for you or your users or clients to use their sites, because instead of having to learn all the extensions and all the editors, they can just put information in a custom field and then you can display it through how you have it set up. So that's what we're going to see today. Vinny's going to show us how to set that up. He really likes UIkit. That's what he uses on his templates with Gantry 5. But later on, we're also going to be trying to see how to do it, or talking about doing it in Bootstrap. So there's going to be something helpful for you along the way. And of course, the longer you watch, the less helpful it will be, especially if I start trying to do things. So anyways, you can hear Vinny in the background there. Hello, Vinny.
Hello, Tim.
For those of you that don't know Vinny, he is the owner of Web Help US, and he also is the owner of I Love Old Time Radio. That's one of the prizes that you can win in the Joomla giveaway. Let me just move me out of the way here. I have to do it differently. In the giveaways, if you are a lonely Joomla drone like we all are at times, head on over and enter the monthly giveaway and listen to. I'll go to I Love Old Time Radio anyways, because you can listen to a lot of stuff there for free. But one of the prizes that we give away is membership to get some of the membership shows that are on there. So, all right, now I have to drag myself back over here so Vinny can share screen. Hello, so Vinny, how's it going?
It's going well.
Do you have snow?
No, actually, all our snow is gone right now.
Okay, we had a little bit of hail here yesterday, but
it was a kind of a warm day yesterday, so it pretty much all went away.
Okay, so and there's the Web Help US, Web Help Us page. Although
Yeah,
you're on localhost there.
We chose the title for it because it could be a double. It's US, or you could say Help Us.
Yeah.
So you can see my screen. I can't see the stream, so it's a big white screen for me. So I don't know if things are being shown yet. So.
I can see. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
I hope.
As long as everybody out there can see it.
I hope that we can see it. There, I just made it full screen too. All right, well, take it away, Vinny.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make a slideshow using custom fields, and particularly the repeatable custom field while it still is in existence. If you do not know, the repeatable field is going to be replaced by the subform. I guess technically you can use subform now, but as I found out, nobody's really helpful on showing you how to install it on your system.
I went looking for it too because I saw you in that discussion, and there was well, people. I mean, I guess people are trying to help. When you post a teeny little thumbnail and say this is how I do it, it's it's not always helpful. But look, not everybody can be good at helping. But yeah, so we're gonna do it in you're gonna use repeatable fields today, which is
I'm gonna use repeatable fields because right now they're currently inexistent in 3.9. So we're going to do that first. So we're going to do it on this page. What I did is I installed a clean copy of Joomla on my local host, and I just put in one of the sample pages that comes with it. I did add Gantry, so I've already installed Gantry, and I use templates from Inspire Theme because they're all UIkit based. They actually use UIkit version 2 right now. They are upgrading to 3 when Joomla 4 comes out because they're redoing all their templates for Joomla 4. So right now they're not putting out any new templates because they're waiting for Joomla 4 to come out, which, will happen sometime hopefully next year.
Yeah, and we saw last week that it's the development version of beta is out there. So they haven't announced a beta version, but the development version of beta is out, which means no more new features. Now it's just fixing bugs.
No more new features. I tell you, the features that are coming out are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go in the back end, and I've already logged in. I've tried to do this as set it up as quickly so we can get right into things. So as we talked about in the last couple of weeks, we know how to set up fields, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set up a field group first, and and I have to log back in. That's what happens when you have session.
Yeah.
And you've been sitting for a while waiting for him to get his ducks in a row. So we're going to set up a new field group. And remember, whatever the title of this field group is going to be the title of the tab. So we're going to call it Slideshow. And we're going to keep it published and public and all that other stuff. We're just going to hit save and close. So we have our new field group. And we have to add a field. I'm going to add a new field. And I'm going to name this one Slideshow Images. Now we have to associate it with a slideshow. And I'm just going to leave it available for all categories.
Yeah, and you associate it with a group called Slideshow.
What did I say?
Associate it with a slideshow.
Okay, I associated with a field group called Slideshow.
Yeah.
For our type, we're going to select repeatable. And right down here under form fields, we're going to hit the plus. And we're going to name it image. And we're going to choose media. That way we can easily just add our images as a media. Under options, we're going to leave the automatic display so it automatically will put in because we're not going to be inputting it into the field. And I'm going to save and close. And I'm going to mute my mic so I can yell at my dog. All right. So now we have our field here. We go to articles and we look at the one article that we have. We should see our slideshow. And we can add our repeatable field. The reason why I use repeatable fields is I don't have to create a number of fields just for images. So I don't have to decide whether or not they only get 5 images in their slideshow or 10 images in their slideshow. I don't have to create 10 images or image fields or media fields. So the nice thing about a repeatable is I create one field and it allows me to create as many as I'd like to. So we're going to select an image. And I have already uploaded some images. So I'm going to insert that. And I'm just going to go ahead and insert the rest of them.
So you're just hitting plus on that to the far right side and adding another one.
Hopefully you can see my mouse. So the plus right here.
And you could even hit plus, 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 and then just go down.
Well, I have 3 more images.
Yeah.
So I can go, already create them, and then just keep doing this. And this is where we cut, and I show you it all completely done. But since we're on a live stream, we can't.
Yeah, like a cooking show. You go over the oven and pull it out the next stage.
And here's the last. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save and close that. And if we go back to the home page, we're just going to see these. It's just showing me the names. It's just the raw value, or the value of it, not the image. And that's kind of what we want, because we want this. We don't want it to render the images. We want it to be just like that, so we have the URL of the image.
Okay, so that's normal to see that at this stage.
That is normal to see it at this age.
Because I played around with it last night. I thought, well, I'll play around a little bit with at least as far to know to get this way. When that showed up, I thought, oh, that can't be right. But now that you say that, I'm happy.
I'm going to actually in my other window that you guys can't see offhand.
The secret window.
A secret window. I'm actually going to just double check my the actual one I created for a client, just so I have everything correct. So at this stage, we're going to we need to change the way repeatable fields are laid out on your website. And we do that by using a template override.
Okay. So
not only can you override your modules and have them look differently, you can also, as we learned last week, you can override components with the con articles, the con content. So you can override articles and categories and how they're laid out. But if we go to templates, using this template right here,
templates, and then
the name of your template.
Yeah.
And then under the create overrides tab, you can see that there are plugins. And of course, custom fields are a plugin. And as you can see right here under content, there are also fields. And here's all the list of fields. And if we look down here, there is repeatable.
Nice.
I'm going to open up, I'm going to click on repeatable, and it's going to create an override. And as we learned last week, overrides are always stored in the HTML. And this one is stored under here under plugin fields repeatable. And then there's the repeatable PHP. So we don't need to do anything to our template overrides for the articles themselves in order to edit the way any of our fields are going to be laid out. We do that on a field-based, and then the articles will call in those fields on its own. That's the one thing I always didn't realize, is that I actually could do this. Fortunately, someone did help with a suggestion about how to override the fields themselves. Because quite honestly, until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't know you could do this.
Yeah, and there were people that were helpful in that discussion as well. Don't want to just
no. It just my problem was I didn't know how to use. So someone was telling me to use subforms, but not telling me how to get them into 3.9.
Right. Yeah. Which we may visit in another video.
By the time we do that, it will already be out.
Yeah.
So.
Except that Valerie was talking, I think it was Valerie last week, was talking about she's done a lot in repeatable fields, and she wondered if they'll still work in Joomla 4, and we figured there's got to be some way they get carried over. But in that discussion, someone thought that not everything would get carried over. But so if you could do that, anyways, we'll visit that in the future.
All right, so this is the code or the PHP code for repeatable fields, or the layout of repeatable fields. And if you're not familiar with any programming, I'm just going to kind of walk through this a little bit, not much, because I don't understand all of it. But the area we really are going to focus on is right here. This is really the area we're going to focus on, and not so much the echo HTML, because basically this is a variable HTML that's including all this, and then it echoes out here.
Yeah.
So it's just echoing at this variable, but you define your variable right here.
And in HTML, that UL and the LI, that's HTML code when things are displayed in a list, which right now it's just showing those images as a list, a bulleted list.
Right, and it's UL is unordered list, which is the bullets, and OL is ordered list, which is 1, 2, 3, or I, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did I teach you something?
Oh yeah, no, I love learning. I learn all the time, man.
All right, so as Tim mentioned,
in fact, right now I just learned not to let you know that I learned something because you'll mock me.
I don't think I mocked
No,
you.
I know. I do. No.
Was that mocking? I
No.
was just kind of excited I taught you something.
Yeah, no, that's. I just.
All right.
I was surprised that you thought I'd learned something.
All right. So as Tim mentioned at the beginning, this is done in. I'm doing this in UIkit. So I will definitely show you why UIkit is better for this than Bootstrap in just a moment. So this is an example of the UIkit slideshow. And as you can see, it is actually done with unordered lists, and that's it.
So what we see here is CSS for a slideshow, and the class is included in UIkit, and so you're going to put this in the plugin override, and it's just going to display the slideshow. And different templates have different systems behind them. So you're using UIkit, Bootstrap. Joomla 3 uses Bootstrap 2, which has its own codes that come with it. And
unless the template itself has like Bootstrap 3 or 4.
Yeah, exactly. So for instance, Asteroid templates, they have Bootstrap 4. So when I go to add a slideshow, I want to figure out how to do it in Bootstrap 4. But Vinny's going to show us how to do it in UIkit.
And I'll show you. So this is all the code that's required for UIkit to get this to work. And it uses some JavaScript that's already built into the framework. I also have the same type of thing here for this is Bootstrap 3, and as you can see, this is multiple items. This is actually 2 items, but this is all that's required for actually it even goes down a little further. So this is what required in Bootstrap 4 to do the same thing as I'm going to be doing in UIkit.
Okay.
So good luck with the Bootstrap.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Stick with UIkit.
We'll try it later on, maybe, or who knows.
So what? And I'll talk about what makes this a little bit more, challenging is the fact that your first item requires item active, whereas all the other ones don't require the active. So what you have to do is write another loop that says, or another if statement that says, if this is the first item, make sure you have item active. Okay. If it's the second item or anything after that, just have item.
Okay.
So that's what makes it a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take this code and put it into here. So I'm going to take the first line here, and I'm just going to copy that first line, and I'm going to paste it right over.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do for that one. For this, I'm going to take parts of the code. So basically, I'm taking from here. I want this first part. Replacing this part. And then I got to make sure I get the other quotation mark. And I'm just going to copy this and this. So basically what I did is I split up the image so that the value of the repeatable field is going to go in the SRC field.
Okay.
Now I'm going to hit save. And pray this works.
And there you go. And after a moment, it will change. Cool. So now, the beauty of that is that if you wanted to add an image or change an image, you would simply go into the article, go to the slideshow tab, and go to where the fields are and do what you need to do.
So, and I don't have any images to add right now, so I'm going to, I'll do that right now. I'll subtract an image. So I'll do this first image.
You can also change the order as well.
Actually, I can. We can do that too. So I'm going to close out of here. And that's actually a better demonstration of it is I should be able to put the eagle. Notice how I used our national bird?
Yes, good
Not
for you.
your national bird, but my national bird. All right, so we can drag the national bird up here. And I'm going to drag him up at the top. So as we can see, 5 is before 1, 2, and 3. Hit save. And I'm going to refresh the page. And as you can see, he's first.
There you go.
And that's how you make a slideshow using UIkit and repeatable fields in Joomla.
Very cool. Just a little bit of... now, you did an override for the plugin for repeatable fields. I guess one thing I was wondering was that now that that's there, if you did repeatable fields for something, another type, does that mean it's changed? Or
So right now, that's the default repeatable field.
So you could rename that one, and somewhere we would select which override you want to use for it, right?
Yeah. So there is a. Let me go back to fields. And I don't quote me on this because I haven't done this before, so I don't know if you can. How you would rename the repeatable field so it would know. But there is a, and maybe somebody in chat will know better than me. But there is a layout.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right here.
So I wonder if where you made that override, if you rename it, it might show up. Yeah.
See, I don't know if you need a underscore and a. I'm not really sure how to do that. So I guess
that's okay.
We could try it. I mean, I'll try anything. This is not
yeah,
even a live site. So.
No, that's good. I mean, you've shown how to do in UIkit, so now we've reached the end of the paved road. Now we're gonna open the gate and get onto the back roads.
So basically, like if this is all you wanted to know, thank you for tuning in.
Well, though you can stick around because I'm gonna try it on the screen here. We'll try it with Bootstrap 4. See what we can do. Oh, and of course, anybody in chat's always welcome to chime in here and say, try this or do this. Or maybe chat's very quiet, but I think maybe hopefully everyone's following along. Or they've dozed off or something. So.
Did I put everyone to sleep?
No, I don't think so. Rename that file. Yeah, so you're renaming the override you just made there.
Chuck made it.
Chuck made it. There you go. Hey, right, Chuck.
So I'm going to try renaming it to slideshow. Now, I'm thinking this is going to break it. Definitely going to break the front end.
Yeah, no, so that's good. So now you're going to go into the field And hopefully slideshow shows up as...
Well, I'm thinking maybe because it is under plugin,
Oh, yeah.
it should recognize that being a repeatable field. So
Content plugins. Or content. There you go.
You missed about 4 minutes.
Layout.
Nope, does not show up there.
Okay. What about in the actual field? Or is this the actual... Oh, this is the actual field that you made.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
if you want to work on trying to do something with
yeah, Valerie, Valerie missed about 4 minutes, so go ahead and ask Valerie. That's fine. She said she'd ask a question, but she missed 4 minutes because her connection dropped for the first time in 4 weeks. All right. Well, so what I will do then is this. I'm going to... What do I... It's different.
I should stop my share.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Cool.
Stop
Hey.
my share.
Well,
I'll work on this while you
look at that. It's giant Tim. All right. So I move this over out of the way here. Oops. Come on here. There we go. Move this over out of the way. So let's go into basic Joomla. Make sure that I'm logged in here. And of course, let me just make sure you guys are seeing my screen. There we go. All right, not now. So let's do this. Let's go to content. Just let me bring up chat here so I can follow what's going on here. Okay. Brian says, does it work on other framework than UIkit? Yes, that's what we're going to try now in Bootstrap 4. And I've got some code to play around with, so maybe you guys can talk me through that. And
yeah, and to answer that question a little bit further is, yes, it's going to work. It's just going to require a little bit more coding because of the fact that, especially Bootstrap, it uses so much, I'd say, extra code to do the same about a thing than it does with UIkit. I find I like UIkit anyway. That's why I used it. But I was so fortunate that it took so little HTML to do it in UIkit, and that's why I came up with this idea, because UIkit was like it already used unordered lists, and all I was requiring is to add some stuff to an unordered list. So that's why I think UIkit is a little far superior than Bootstrap, but that's just my opinion.
yeah, well, sure. Everyone likes to use what they like, and if it's easier, that's good. All right, so anyway, so I have this, as you can see, I already have this set up this far from last night. So then what really gets bad is this is where I went off the rails last night. So I have, I don't know what I called, CF Slideshow Custom Fields. And what I did was wrecked it. I created the field, but if I go save and preview this page, okay, so there I go. I've got these images. Now I've got this stupid thing showing here, and that is because in the code I thought I had to put that code for the override in the article, which I don't. But I do need some dummy content in here just so that we can get something. So let's throw some sentences in there. Paragraphs, 5 paragraphs. And save. And now when I refresh this, I'm hoping to see the slideshow at the top. There's our 3 bullet points, which you earlier said was normal. So that's good. So next I have to do the override. And so let's go to extensions, templates. I'm so excited to be a little bit, at least confident enough to find my way in somewhere after these videos the last couple of weeks. And I must be in here.
Well, I'll tell you, Tim, template overrides is one area of Joomla that I hadn't played around with a lot, and I still don't cover the full array of it. But I guess it was one of Mary's video that she put out about doing a template override. It kind of started me on like, oh man, if I could only do this. And then I got easy layouts, which really showed me what I could do with a template override. And even though easy layouts does a lot of the coding for me, it made me really want to explore the, actually doing it without easy layouts.
So here on my screen, I'm right back into, well, that's how it works with, you see people doing little bits or this or that or showing how they do things, and it all starts to fit together. All right, so here I am doing the repeatable field plugin override. And so we're at the place, and this is where Vinny was putting in the HTML. So why don't we go up here and just, I have this code somewhere, but let's look Bootstrap for slideshow. Let's see what code they have. See if we can figure this out together. So what you would do for your templates is that if your template is Bootstrap 3 or whatever it's based on, you maybe are looking for the code that's built in.
Or if you use Protostar, you'd use Bootstrap 2.
Yeah, Protostar would be Bootstrap 2. So here's Bootstrap for carousel, and here's how to create it. And that's how they created this one here. So I'm going to, let's see here. What am I going to do? This is what I want to put. I'm just going to copy this whole thing right here. And then I'm going to paste it at the end, just so I can refer up and down and not switch back and forth screens. So later on, I'm going to know that I want to remove this line and everything below it. All right, so in your demo, you had HTML equals UL, and you changed what the UL class was for the slideshow. And here is indicators, UL class equals carousel indicators. So I almost think that since that was UL there, we want to take this UL.
Well, I mean, quite honestly, you take a look at it this way. And I can't see your screen really well because it's
no, and I'm gonna take this UL code here and replace it in here because that's what Vinny did, and I always like to do.
No. I did that because that's all the code I have. You also have a div ahead of yours.
Oh, okay.
So you want to take that div and the UI class carousel, because what you're doing in that for each is a repeatable, it's a loop. So
Okay.
it's going to generate that code as many of the value as you have.
So I want to put
everything before that is out of the loop, and everything after that is out of the loop.
Okay. So the div ID I want to put before the UL.
So everything, the div ID and the UL are all going to be in that first line because they're not in the loop. All the LIs, they're going to be in a loop.
Okay.
But with Bootstrap, you're going to have an if else statement that says if, and I'm not sure exactly what, but if field value equals 0, then print off that first line, else if it's, and then print off the second line.
Okay. Now we're
and they're showing you also, if you see the data slide too, it's numbered.
Yeah.
So you'd have to create a variable that would actually increased number, which would probably be the field value
Okay.
plus 1. I don't know. That's that's why I'm saying this is a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Because this is all PHP, so you really have to look at some PHP code of how to create an if else statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I overwhelm you?
No, that's okay.
See, I have a little bit of background in programming.
Yeah,
so
no, and I
have programmed
understand
languages before.
And I understand the if else is just the actual programming it. So
It's just yeah. Now, when I was looking at the Bootstrap stuff, the I don't think the data slide was. It is in 3, but I'm not sure if it's in 4. If it's required. If it is, then that makes it a little bit more difficult.
I'm gonna put this down here just to let people know that they're not looking at a frozen screen. Not that there's going to be a lot of movement for me either. All right. Well, you okay? So div ID.
Yeah. So on the website, on the Bootstrap website,
Yeah.
for 4.4, it doesn't show the need for the data slide and the number.
Okay.
So I would actually take a look at
Bootstrap 4.4.
the actual at getbootstrap.com, because you might find that a little bit easier.
Okay.
So it's getbootstrap.com/docs/4.4/components/carousel. And I will just copy that in the
Components.
chat. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they've got something much smaller than what I've got. All right, let's do that. If this gets if we figure this out, I'll make a separate little video just on how to do it. But all right, so let's dump. Can I Control Z? Get back to where we were. This is our code here that I'm looking to add now. All right. So div ID carousel example slide only. Okay, that's a good point to go to getbootstrap.com. All right, div ID carousel. So in the HTML equals UL, I'm going to put what?
So the way you should look at it is in kind of 4 parts. What goes above or what goes ahead of the loop, that would be one part. What would go below the loop, that would be another part. So those are the 2 things that are not in the loop itself. And then because of the way Bootstrap is, you have to think of what is going in the loop and what is going in the if part of the statement and what's going in the else part of the statement. So that's 5 parts. So I can't count. So if you break it up that way, that might help you. So what I would do is I would take the 2 lines, the 2 div lines above class carousel item active.
Okay.
And I would, right after the class carousel inner, I would put a I would do a carriage return so you can separate that.
And put that before the HTML equals.
Well, no. It needs to be where that UL is.
Oh, put that inside where.
But I was just trying to separate them on before you stick them in there. I was just trying to separate them for you.
You can't see my screen, can you?
I can now, but I'm on a delay.
Okay. Because I think
So you put them up above that code, and I was actually just talking about at the bottom. Just kind of separate it there first before you pop it into up top.
Let me share my screen with you on Zoom, and then it'll be real time. Then you can see there. Can you see it in the Zoom screen?
Yeah.
All right.
So
we've got this code here. So you're saying take these 2 lines here.
So what I'm telling you for right now,
yeah,
just after that carousel inner.
Yeah.
So if you place your cursor right after that, so
yeah,
don't highlight it, and hit a couple of carriage returns.
Okay.
Okay. So that's going to be above the loop.
Which is
so that will be in that that stuff will be in where it says UL.
Oh, this stuff is going to go in the UL.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's outside the loop.
Okay.
For each starts the loop.
Okay.
So we're going to ignore that part for right now.
Okay.
So the last 2 divs, the closing divs,
they go outside.
They're going outside the loop.
Which is for each.
Nope, it's right below that. It's the other HTML.
They go below there.
They're going in where that UL is.
Oh, in here, right. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And they went on different lines, but that's okay.
That's fine. Okay. So now you have the outside and the outside right now.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if you didn't have to have the active, I mean, we could create right now we could create a slideshow of 1 by just putting that first div closing, opening and closing, and put it into, well, what you would do is you would do everything up until the src equals and quotation.
Yeah.
Copy that and put it where the li is. Just replace that li completely. All right. And then everything after that, including that quotation. Nope, you don't want the dots.
Oh, okay. That.
Yeah.
And did I put it?
Copy that and put that where the closing li bracket is, which I think you're. Now that should create if you were to save and close this, but you'd have to get rid of the rest of the code.
Oh, that's right. Well, let's see what happens.
It's gonna break it. Yeah.
Wah wah wah.
So all that stuff has got to go. And now save and close. That should create a single, yeah.
Oh, and there's all the images. I just grabbed 3 random images. I didn't have something
basically
nice like
what it did is it went through all your images.
Yeah.
And made them all active.
Okay.
So what we'd have to do now is create a if else statement that basically says if this is 0, then you do the active one, else you would do the inactive ones. Fun with code.
If
you want if else.
Yeah. If else. Copy. Where would we put this if else?
In the loop.
Where in the loop?
So pretty much it would be before that HTML.
So we've got the if.
So that if and the bracket, you want the bracket too.
I figured there's probably a bracket up here.
No, you need that bracket.
Okay.
It's going to be a different bracket.
Okay. All right.
So it's got to be after that bracket.
There.
Yep.
And paste.
Yep.
If.
So basically, if that condition, and then after this, after the semicolon.
Is it if? What's the condition? If,
Okay. Well, let's not worry about the condition right in a second, because we're trying to get the structure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So what I would do is I would put a where's the rest of the code? Okay. So you see how there is another bracket right before the else?
Yes.
So that else would go after that whole thing, that whole line right there would go after the semicolon. So on another line after the semicolon.
Would go after here?
Nope, not that semicolon. In the loop. So it's after image, SRC.
Oh, here, yeah.
Yes.
Can you just imagine how people who know how to program are pulling their hair out watching this?
Well, actually, you just copied the same thing.
Oh. What do I want there? Just
You want that line.
else, okay.
Copy that line and put it on another line.
All right.
Paste it.
So
right,
if
and then
this is
after
true,
that-
show this, else.
So now what I would do is I would copy this whole HTML line from copy that all the way to the end of the semicolon. Copy that. Paste it. And don't forget, and then put another curly bracket, a closing curly bracket, right at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now
what
we're
we're going to do is we're going to take out the active, the class active.
Okay.
Okay. Now we worried about the condition. Now we have the proper code in there.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're telling it is, if it's something, we're going to do this first one.
Yeah.
Or if it's not that thing, we're going to do the second code. So every time it does its loop, is going to check whether it is, I'm guessing it will be 0. So whatever the condition is going to be 0. And I'm thinking that's going to be,
if field value is 0.
I'm wondering if that's what it will be. I'm guessing. Because if you look at the top, it says if empty at field value, at question mark, a $sign field values. I think that is telling you that's the I'm going to be betting on that. So
right.
Copy that, not the empty. We're not doing the empty.
What do I want to put in the kitchen? If field values?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're just doing that. Now I'm wagering a guess.
Equals 0?
That's my guess.
Is it?
No, not yeah. You don't put the
0?
yes, and put spaces in between them, because PHP is very picky.
You think?
So you put yes. You put a space, yeah. So that's my guess.
All right.
Based on what little knowledge I have of programming, I don't know PHP very well.
Still got stuff in the end here.
Yeah.
This is left over there. Okay.
Yeah. I really wish somebody in chat who knows PHP better would be able to like you know what would be nice if Peter from Regular Labs just happened to be popped in. That would be nice. Or
Yeah,
what's my
but
face for my Joomla.
anybody who knows
No.
anybody who's watching this and knows how to code is already drinking heavily in a fetal position. So
Why can't Phil come in on this day and show us what we're doing wrong?
okay.
All right. So yeah, it did something wrong. The Ajax looking logo thing coming around showed up, but no images showed up.
All right.
So there's something definitely wrong with our code. And I don't know if it's this if statement. It's probably the if statement. And I wouldn't know where to begin right now.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So, well, let's see. If well, you guessed 0.
Maybe 1.
And we don't need quotes around that 0, eh?
I don't think so.
Let's
You can
go
try it with
back
quotes.
here. Yeah.
Let's see what they say. And oh, they actually do have quotes.
All right, so let's try quotes.
Because a lot of programming languages, quotes signify a text. Yeah, that still didn't work. But you see how it did do its little waiting thing. So at least it's trying to call something. We're just not getting it to display the value.
Yeah, all right. So let's see here. I just cleared the cache. Okay, so if the field value is 0,
And like I said, I can't even. Two of the people watching have no help for us.
no, that's fine. And John Moholt is
Yeah,
he couldn't make the stream today, so that's all right. Well, let's see. All right, so if
and like I said, I'm not sure if it's that field that variable we're looking for. I'm suspecting it is. Try changing it to 1. Nope. Yeah, just 1. I don't know. 'Cause usually things start with 0 first, and then they move up. Well, all right. So what it did is it showed everything, but
it's showing everything. So the field value is always 1. So let's see.
Well, it shouldn't always be 1. It just means the active one is 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's not 1. So the active one is not 1. No.
All right.
So what it's doing is it's doing the first one.
Yeah. All right.
It's doing the if statement. It's not doing the else statement.
Yeah. So if it's the first picture, otherwise show the next picture.
Just not sure why when you put it as 0, it didn't show them all.
Let's see here. where these things are. Here's the, no. Image source class.
I just want to tell the chat you're really helpful right now.
I'm really helpful?
No, the chat.
Oh, that's all right. Well, we don't want to rag on chat because div class active. Yeah, and Chuck's looking for some stuff, so let's see. This first image, div class active, and then it says div class carousel item active.
So, what the problem is I don't know what the result of I don't know what the result of field values. Is it field values?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the template override. So this field values. Try. Well, here's an idea. Try field value and not values, because there are two of them up there. And try putting that back to 0. I just don't know what field value exports out if it's numeric. And I'm thinking it's not a numeric thing. So what we need to do is get the because what the loop does is it's supposed to up it by 1.
Yeah,
So
but usually in a
if you
loop,
have multiple, it will go through its loop until it gets to the end of it, and then it will.
Okay, yeah. So for each field values is value. So you go through each time you go through, give it a 1.
It adds it by 1.
Yeah.
So maybe it's value. Try the question. Try value. Lowercase v.
No.
Nope.
But it might not be value is it may never be 0. But then it would show the others. Whoa. We got something different. It's at least exciting.
Yeah, and it displays them as 1, 2, 3 again. So that's telling me that it's so because you're required to have that active, that line to get it to work, that active line.
Yeah.
Which is showing up there. See how it says active? Your source code just had it.
Carousel, yeah, div class.
So it's exporting it out as a slash, not the actual value of it. But then it's doing it again. See how it's keep doing the active?
Yeah.
So it's doing that first part of the if statement. It's not doing the else. It's repeating them all as if whatever the value is equal to. It's always going to be equal to 1. So I don't know what variable is what variable is increasing. So when I'm used to doing loops in other programming languages, you have a variable like like variable dog, and it's an integer, and at the end of the loop, it always adds 1 to that dog, to that variable. So that's what I'm assuming happens in this for each, is it's adding 1 until it gets to the end. It's just a matter of defining whether or not to figure out if we can figure out what is that first value and then make all the other ones separate.
Oh.
This is where I need a PHP person.
Would debugging show the value if we turn debugging on?
Maybe.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, let's try this here. System, global configuration, system, display value. Let's try this. Woohoo. Let's do it on my live site.
I do not know why you don't create a...
Well, I usually do, but I had it in here. It's all right. People will laugh when they go by. Oops, daisy queries. I never know what to look for in this anyways, but
That's why this is called Watch Me Work.
yeah, exactly. I don't even know if this would really show me. This is showing everything that's running. CF slideshow. What would I even be looking for in here? I'd probably search for field value. Search for do. Well, let's go back here and at least get those images showing up again. How did we do that? If
And this is why I use UIkit.
oh yeah, but it'll be just as easy once we figure out how to do
Yeah,
it.
once this gets figured out, I mean, and I'm assuming my logic is correct when it's coming to creating this. With the and that's what, based on my experience with like programming in like C++, and type stuff in Pascal and Pascal tools. But I mean, the concept is pretty much the same in most most programming languages. It's just a matter of the proper execution or the proper terms.
Yeah. I suspect that debugging is not the thing.
You know, it's a day. You know, a lot of times Phil pops in, and it's like we don't expect him to pop in, but the day we want him to pop in, he just does not pop in. I'm sure Phil could tell us instantly what we're doing wrong.
Probably. We know it's the if though, right? If. So.
It's somewhere in that area, and I'm sure it's the condition. I'm sure it's got something to do with condition. We probably don't have the right variable or the way to check the variable. Because we saying if this variable equals 1, then print these as active. Now, it's saying that the variable is equal to 1. That's why it's printing out all those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But we want...
If we want to know if it's the first picture, show it. Otherwise, show the next one.
But apparently, that variable might always be 1. Well, here's a question. If we go back to the... Are we using the wrong variable? Because a variable is, this might be a Boolean where it's either 1 or 0. And 0 is off, 1 is on. So it's saying if this is equal to 1, which means it's on, show these. So
we should try value equals 0.
No, because then it won't print out anything.
No, well,
so that might not be the right code. Because if you look up here at the top, yeah, right there, that if statement is saying that if it exists, then to print, then to return.
Yeah, return return this stuff here.
And then below that is getting the values. I'm just not sure what needs to be in that condition.
Yeah.
I think that's what's hindering our progress.
Yes, if field value equals 1, fields values equals 1. For each field value as value. Each field values as value. Source implode. Alrighty, well, for every field, for each field's value, if this Be nice to be able to see what the field values are, like what the actual values are that are being delivered. You know?
Right.
And I don't know where to go to. I don't know how to do that. Because then we would see if picture 1 is given a certain value.
And that's the part I don't know is um what variable do we need to associate with the first one as opposed to the other ones?
But they all obviously have the field value of 1 because they all show up.
Well, they always yeah, they all have that field value as one because they're there. But in a lot of other programming languages, you need a. So that was why my guess. But I think Chuck. I think I think there it is kind of an array already because of the fact that it's using multiple. I think the repeatable field itself is an array because it's using multiple. I just don't know how to extract that particular value out of it.
Here's someone asking how to do it, but they didn't get answered. Back from 2015. Wow. Is it possible to see the values in the database? Ivor's asking.
Probably, if you know where to look.
Well, let's go into the database. Let's just... Yeah, so let's try. All right, I'm going to change screens here. So actually, I'll do it on another screen.
Well, I have to say, at least my part was successful.
No. We knew your part was going to be successful. Here, let me just check this link that Chuck just shared here from Smart Slider. It says something like, there's something from Smart Slider that says something like here. Creating modified dynamic slide generators. To be able to follow the steps of this tutorial, you're required to have coding knowledge. At the bottom of the page, he says, okay. This done.
Yeah, see, that's got a little like for I equals 0.
Yeah.
And I is a variable. Or it might be the fact that we're using a for each. And it's doing it every single one. Maybe if you replace the for each with a for, I don't know.
All right, well, let's try that.
For each.
For So you're saying take out the each?
Again, that means we kind of messed up our whole thing. I'm just wondering if it, but the if statement should have classified it differently. I don't know. I don't know what for each actually means.
All right. Well, let me put this on the in the notepad over here on my other screen. So if we really mess it up, we can go right back to something that works. So it would be 4 field values as value.
No, because then you're not getting the proper loop.
4.
See that? The so when I say the variable, a variable has got that dollar sign in front of it.
Yeah.
So the semicolon variable I plus plus, that increases the variable by 1.
Right.
So as it's going down its loop, it adds 1 to that I.
Yeah.
So it's saying as long as if I is equal to 0 and less than 5, add 1.
Okay.
Okay. So in this statement, if you do a for something similar to that, theoretically it would work.
The only thing is that how do you set the number to that's the number of field items that there are?
Oh yeah, well,
I'm gonna go into the database here.
that puts a limit on the loop. Otherwise, your loop would repeat forever.
Yeah. So you'd have
so you need a way for it to get out, and that's, I guess, the for each does. It's a, I'm guessing it's a closable loop, so it keeps going until it runs out of things to draw from.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Don't quote me on it.
Okay, I'm looking in my database here on the side here. Fields. I only have 7 fields. Fields values, I've got 15. I wonder if that will... All right, so this is this is what are my slideshow images here? Enter to, yeah, winner, that, and classroom. Oh, this is interesting. So this is field item ID, the value, slide image 0, graphics classroom. And then, of course, now I get thwarted in here. Current selection does not contain a unique column, grid, edit, checkbox, edit, copy. Okay.
Yeah, field ID is 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But this one here, this is the field ID. Item ID 17386. I don't. But here, this is slide image 0.
What's that whole field? See the value of that whole thing.
Well, that's the thing. It's not available.
Well, there's got to be. You can probably see more of it, can't you?
Well, it says no. You see, this current selection does not contain a unique column up here, so it won't let me. But slide image 0. I name the field slide image. And it's a repeatable field. Does that mean everything in it has a slide image of 0, 1, 2, 3?
I don't know.
Isn't this just the way that it is, though? You get somewhere close, and then it's like, oh, but you can't see all of this. You're getting too close.
Like going up against the CIA.
Oh, Chuck says use re-replacer to find it. There's a good tip. Yeah, so this is in table side fields values. Excellent idea, Chuck. Components, DB replacer, and I know what you meant. So the fields, not admin tools. Oh, what the heck am I looking for here? Table side fields value. Fields values. And we're looking for
The
value. And let's search for something that has a colon. Oh, look at there. Slide image 0. Slide image 1. Slide image 2. Each image gets something called each repeatable field gets a number added to the end of the field name, and it's assigned to an item ID, which who knows? Oh, and these two are the
Well.
Oh, sorry.
Then,
I'm searching all fields, so is this one that we're looking for here?
Right. So slide image 0 is probably what you need.
For if
instead of that 1.
Slide image 0.
That's my guess, but I don't know what the condition value is.
Slide dash image 0.
Just copy it.
Yeah.
You can try.
Well, we'll try that. I don't think that's going to work.
Nope, but it didn't break it.
No, because the field has. That's
Oh,
yeah.
right.
The field has that in it, so.
So it's not the value that you need. You need to extract that part of the variable.
It's interesting to see how the fields are put together. The repeatable field, it's all just one item ID.
So that's kind of an array right there where it says we got this part, this part, this part, all make up this.
Yeah.
And you just need.
Okay. Slide image. Well, Valerie says she has to go. She'll watch Vinny's first part and put it into practice. Hope to put practice as soon as possible. Okay, see you, Valerie. Perseverance is commendable, she says. Yeah, I think probably at this point, and we're so close, I just have to ask someone who knows what to go in there.
Yeah, but there's a point where it's commendable, and there's another point where you're just a guy banging his head against a brick wall.
Yeah, I
You
know,
know,
but
it's
that's
perseverance, but still, it's
yeah, but we're working on it together. We're getting look. We're looking in the field here. We see what it is. Um, check the field and item ID set to for a variable. Well, the item ID is just check the field. Yeah, the field and item ID for a variable. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think it would be the field because that's the actual field that's being created, and the item ID is the one that.
it covers all of that.
Yeah, that's that whole line there. Slide image 2.
But it's nice to see how this value, this field is laid out.
Yeah, I mean, because you could actually go in here and edit. You could change across multiple fields this image or this value. If you had multiple item IDs that were using something in a field, you could go and find and replace that value everywhere. But it's another way to break things. All right, so we just really want to know what this. I mean, it's showing all three. And if I look at, let's see, now in your, we're using if else, but in your UIkit example, it was for each, which is there.
Because I don't have a separate value. I don't have. Remember, in Bootstrap, your first item has to have that active class in it, where the other ones don't. Because if you have them all have the active class, they're all going to show up at once. I don't have that in UIkit.
Yeah, so we're looking for if the field value is the active class.
Well, no, we're asking if what we're trying to find out if the field is the first one, then do the active. If it's the other ones, don't do the active. That's what we're trying to find out. But we're trying to find out. Slide image 0 is the first one. We're trying to figure out how to. Field values is not going to equal slide image 1 because it will have it in there, but it's not the separate part.
Gotcha. Check the field. Click on item ID on database page. Okay, let's see here. Item ID. Yeah, that's not opening up either. Wonder how the heck these item IDs got up so high. Oh, up a level. Oh, here. Up here, Chuck? Click on item ID on that. Not the same as you saw earlier. All right, well, we're so close. So close. So it's not the... Let's put this back to what we had anyways here. All three of those items have the... Yes. Let me... see if... Okay, hold on for a sec. I'm gonna just have to find where the heck is... I'll tell you, Zoom is often confusing to try to find. Find
That's
where...
why I do the Alt-Tab and then just...
Okay, gonna stop the share for just a second there. All right. Invite. There we go. Copy URL. Go back here. Go to there. Okay. It's gonna... Chayton's gonna come in the Zoom call, and we'll see if he knows what we should put in here.
I will say to, because I've been doing a little research while he's been doing this. So if you're going to use a slideshow repeatable field the way I showed it to you,
Yeah.
it's going to take over the repeatable field. So all your repeatable fields are going to look like that.
We'll have to do the override somehow.
The layout override is something completely different. It handles the way the layout of the field itself, not the output of the field.
Okay. I wonder if you could make a copy of that field too then.
So what you would have to do is you would have to probably make copy the repeatable field stuff and rename it as like slideshow. So what you'll end up having is another field type in your...
Yeah.
That's my best guess. And
make a
that's
copy.
something actually I want to pursue a little bit more for my clients. That way I'm not destroying their repeatable field in case I want to use it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's just copying.
What Mark said was you could just it's a plugin, and you could just make a copy of the plugin.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's kind of what I'm gonna do.
What on earth is everyone looking at right now? Just the screen with my...
Yeah.
There. Oh, I recognize that sound.
Hey, it's Chayton.
Hey, Winnie. How you doing?
Oh.
I wasn't gonna say a word. I was gonna keep quiet, and you just laughed him.
Well, just because I knew what you're gonna do. Hello, Chayton, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, Tim.
All right. So here's the deal. I just have to figure out what I'm doing here. And there. Oh, your camera's on. Isn't that nice? All right. So let's bring you over so everyone can see you here. I think that's everyone's. I was merely chuckling because we're trying to get Vinny's name. Oh, come on. All right. So, all right. How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Here's what we're trying to do. What screen am I going to share here? I think it's this one. All right. So we are trying to do a slideshow with repeatable fields. We have it so that the 3 images will show.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have in the back end here this Bootstrap 4. And this is what we're struggling with here. What we wanted to do is we needed to see if it's the active image show it, else show the next image, and we have sort of like a for each thing in here. Did I explain that?
I did this with UIkit. UIkit is a little simpler when it comes to doing a slideshow. The difference between Bootstrap and UIkit is the active class. The first image has to have that active class. The other images do not have the active class. So we're not sure what the condition needs to be in order to.
That's fine. Tim, can you give me the login to this site? I can share my screen. Can I get on there?
Oh yeah, sure. I think you're. I think that you already have a profile in here. Let me just.
Give me two more things. So give me a login, and then obviously give me the Vinny must have it. Give me the HTML that you need on the front end, or is it really just as long as you get the active class, it'll start working?
The first image needs the active class. The other images do not have the active class.
That's fine. Everything else is working. So
everything else.
So
is
the
working.
HTML is being outputted in a way that will work. Assuming
right now, it's outputting them all as if they have the active class.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But the HTML is outputting. If we remove that active class and then really just add it to the first one, that'll do it, right?
Yeah, that should do it.
All right. Tim, log in, man.
Oh, I'm working, man. I don't know what your password is. You already have one on this site, but.
Hang on. Hold on.
Too late.
Did you reset it already?
Yeah.
I opened it in private browsing.
There you go. I put it in the Skype chat there.
What's my username again?
Oh my goodness. Chayton. No, I wasn't complaining. I was just like, oh my goodness, I've got the camera in front of that other screen, so it looks like I'm coming in to kiss everyone I tried to look around, so.
Okay, do you want to stop screen sharing? I can share.
I do.
Okay, now where do I go to do what?
Now remember, we're streaming live here, so the language is not normally when you're talking to me. So.
Oh, I didn't know we were streaming live. Okay.
No, that's what I said. Do you have time to come on my live stream to help with something?
I didn't know you were. Okay. All right, this is a bad time. I have to close a few things. Then hold on.
This is not the lunchtime check-in we usually have. This.
Okay. How can I share my screen without sharing everything? Hold on.
Share a window. Click on share, and then select the window that you want to share.
Okay, you guys can see it? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hold on for a sec. Oh my goodness. See, this is.
Oh man.
Hold on for a sec here. There we go. All right.
Where do I go to see this in the front end?
Good question. Go into the back end. Go to content articles. At the top, you will see
CF slideshow.
Yeah, and then just go preview.
Okay. And then in the overrides, you were doing something with the overrides too. I'll just preview this. Okay. Can't I preview this in a new tab or something?
Yeah. Well, if you want, close that. Top right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's better preview there.
Gotta thank Peter for that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna open this up. So Vinny, we have an active class 3 times. You're saying as long as we get rid of the active class, it'll start working, right? Everything else is good, right?
Well, the first one needs active. The other ones do
and
not
then third
need
one
active.
go. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, so the overrides, these are article
HTML.
overrides?
Yeah. No, it's plugin.
Okay.
HTML. That one there. Yeah. Repeatable.
Okay. I have so much going on. Okay. Okay, so what you're doing is necessarily you are checking if this is the field name basically, and then adding that class active, which is true for every one of them. What you need to do is, or what we do normally in stuff like this is, again, I'm not a developer, so developers do better stuff. But okay, so what we do is we create a variable at the top, and we declare it I equals 0, okay? And then inside the for loop, at the end of the for loop, every time for loop runs, we just say variable plus plus. That means every time for loop runs, the variable will increase a value. Now, this is very useful if you want to give some sort of styling. Sometimes you want to give even odd styling. You're creating the table where you want to have your rows have a lighter and a darker background. So you can use something like this to give alternate classes as your content is printing. So what we want to do?
So creating that I variable will actually mean
the I
the
variable
if statement will have the I equals
the
0.
the
to
I
the first
really gets us the count. So here's what I'm going to
yeah.
do. So here we're going to say if I equals
Are you
0.
typing? Are you typing on that screen there?
I am. Okay, I'll make this bigger. So if I equals 0, okay, then class equals active.
Which screen are you?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either on.
Hold on.
No. I'm just gonna share my whole screen. Whatever. Hold on. Okay, you can.
Okay. Oh, you're typing it in. Okay, Notepad. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're typing in Notepad.
Okay. So we say if I equals 0, which it will be the first time it runs. Okay, the class is active. Else the class equals inactive. We don't need that, but I'm just saying it. We can even very well leave it blank. Okay, and in here where we have it active, we just put in the class, which is active class. Okay, and we get rid of this. We don't need the else part. We get rid of this. So really all we need is this one if statement. If so I equals 0, and then I'm also going to echo I in here. So this will tell us the number of slide. It's just useful to know this stuff. So it's going to echo 0, 1, 2, 3, starting 0. So class active, class inactive. Okay, I think I have it. Let me go back here. Not here. Not here. Okay, here. All right.
What time is it there, Chayton?
Bad time. Okay, so you can see it kind of worked. Okay, there you go. It disappears. But let me show you the HTML. So there's another problem probably, but this is the HTML that's being generated. Okay, so and let me beautify this. Just 1 second. I look much better. I hope it look much better. So this is it. Okay, you can see carousel. The first one gets active and then 0. The second gets inactive and 1, inactive and 2, because this is a number of slide. But there's another problem that the slideshow is not running. I think it comes up for a second and then goes away. So you can see now it works. You don't have 3 images, but it doesn't change to the next image. Does it need some sort of HTML as well?
It's a Bootstrap 4 when we were.
Okay. Do you have a link to where you got it, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Is that this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the HTML we need, is, so we need a div in the beginning. Okay, carousel example only, carousel slide, data right, carousel. Okay, and then all we need is, okay. So this div, it has to close inside the for loop. I mean, we don't actually have to have it here. We can very well just have it here. And then this is the div.
Well, there is one closing in the for loop. there's two that are outside the loop, and there's one inside the loop. Unless the carousel inner needs to be in the loop.
No, so look at this way. So there are this two needs to be outside, one for the carousel this one for the carousel inner, and then for each slide we need to have a carousel item and a closing for the same. So
which there is one on that one.
Yeah, I think I just created this. It could be. Let me just verify. So this is I think now it'll work. I think now it will work.
I do know it doesn't require the class inactive because I don't think there is a class.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, we just added it. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
There we go.
It was. You know what I was missing, Tim? I told you that we needed a variable that needed to count up.
Yeah.
And in other languages that I've programmed in, we'd have that
X equals X plus 1.
Yeah. Or the plus is the same thing, but it's
right.
I didn't know we needed to create it here, so that actually
there are other ways to do it as well. Yeah, it's very simple, and there are other ways to do it as well, Vinny. I just don't know. There are probably better ways to do it. This is like the simplest approach I use when I do it, but there are probably other better ways to do it. Yeah.
Cool.
No, this is really what I was trying to do, but I wasn't creating my own variable. I was actually just trying to use the variables that already given us. Mm-hmm. So that makes more sense to just create the variable itself, and that worked perfectly.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. Well, I should have done that. Right. I should have done that 45 minutes ago. All right. Well, I interrupted you working there, so I appreciate that. I'll catch up with you later.
No worries. Yeah, I'll call you back later.
I'm gonna go have some breakfast.
Bye. Thank you, Chayton.
Bye.
All right. So
really, that's really what we needed to do is create our own variable that will change. So it's really once we figure that out, it's not that hard.
No, and I was trying to figure out the values that were there, but he just went and created a value.
Yeah, and that's probably the best option is creating your own variable to add to increase. And the important thing is to remember what part of the HTML code needs to be outside the loop and because if you put those two, the two ones you have outside the loop in the loop, it's going to create those every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want it to create that one div, and I think you can even get rid of the inactive. Did he get rid of the inactive? I can't tell. Yeah, you can actually you could even put a blank in there, so it doesn't add the class because there's no class inactive. Yeah. It's calling a class that doesn't exist, which might give you an error somewhere, not that one that would display. And obviously you don't need the dot variable, the I variable in there. That's just so when you look at the HTML code, you can make sure it's doing it. So,
and the great thing is,
need to happen.
I don't even need to explain this. I can just say to everyone, "Hey, go to my site. Here's the code. Put it here." Your slideshow.
Well, if you're gonna display it, I would get rid of the variable with the I at the end, because that's just adding an extra bit of code that you don't need.
This here?
See where it says...
this. Oh, yeah. That was just... here.
Yeah, don't get rid of the I++.
No. No, that's what I was just going to say. But no, this is just actually putting it in so that you can see it in the code, what slide number is.
So you can see that just to make sure that it is going up.
Yeah.
So that's not...
And I can be changed to slide number or something that makes sense.
Or you don't even need it at all.
No, I mean up here, the count.
Yeah, I can be changed, but
you're saying you're saying this is not needed. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
You're not sharing. I'm watching on delay.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that extra. You have an extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
no, because there's one at the beginning. HTML equals.
right, you have one. You had two.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, that one goes with. There's one.
That actually, no. That actually goes at the end of the div. So that one, that right there, because what you're gonna do if you don't add that, get rid of that extra one.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
here.
I can't
Yeah,
see your screen, so I'm seeing on a delay.
yeah, and I've got here. Well, let me go back here. So.
Yeah, you're still highlighting the
Yeah.
still highlighting the, you're not getting rid of that extra.
Yeah, there we go. Where is my Zoom call here? There we go. All right, let's see here. Let's go to share screen. There we go. Now you can see it live. Yeah. So we're taking that up. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason why you're doing that, you highlight all that because you get rid of all those.
Yeah.
If you kept that extra, it would close off that variable, that HTML variable. It would close that off right there, and then you'd get a problem.
Here we go. So there's probably.
Theoretically, that should work. Yep, there you go.
So now there's obviously going to be in Bootstrap some other things that I can put in.
Right, like transitions and stuff like that you could put in.
Which I'll put in up here in the div ID or whatever. So
not necessarily. It depends on where they want you to put it.
Okay, yeah. So for instance, if we go, that's asleep. With controls. Div ID carousel example controls. With indicators.
Boy, they write this like Joomla
doc. Yeah, it's just going to be changing in the HTML there.
Now, if you wanted to do something like the captions,
I can put two classes in, right?
Yeah, you can put as many classes as you want in there.
Okay, I know I'm posting this in the wrong place. I just want it for reading. So, data right carousel. That's not what I want.
If you're going to add the captions, see, there's.
I just want to add these indicators here. These. Carousel OL class indicators.
Yeah, that's a little bit more challenging because you. Well, no, that's not. Okay. You might as well copy that whole section. No, not that whole section.
Oh.
Just the ordered list.
This here.
Yeah. Copy that.
Copy that. 10-4, good buddy.
And that's going to go after the div class carousel inner, I believe, or does it go above? I forgot where.
Above.
Now, the other thing you're going to add, see where it says data slide to 2, 0, 1, 2? In that, you're going to add that
I string.
The code, yeah. So it would be, what is it? What did he put on it? It's apostrophe. Is it dot? Hold on. It's dot. Okay, so copy the class, the text for the class. So it'd be apostrophe. No, not there. So in where the 0 is,
Yeah. Okay.
Data slide 2. Okay. You're going to do apostrophe dot question mark. No, I'm sorry. Question mark. $sign.
$sign. Yeah.
I dot apostrophe.
I'm gonna
Why do you have so many apostrophes there?
Because you told me to keep. Oh, maybe it was auto. No.
So you got to get rid of 2 of those apostrophes.
Actually, maybe putting one in. It's actually anyways. Okay.
Nope. You just need one at the beginning and one at the end.
Now putting them in each one.
And copy that whole thing. No, you gotta get the apostrophe in there too. The opening and closing apostrophe. Now the problem with this is this technically should be another loop, because you don't know how many slides you're going to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You only have it for 3. What if you had 4 slides? What if you only had 2?
Yeah. Okay. Well, then in which case I'm going to cut my losses.
But again, this has got this. I don't think this is going to work either, right where it is, because of the fact that they're all going to be the same number each time. So yeah, don't add all.
No, I'm going to take that win and run with it.
Well, we got a Bootstrap Bootstrap one up.
A Bootstrap 4 version. Excellent. So I will definitely make a video on this.
Yeah, Brian, you're right. He actually really talked and did everything really, really fast.
Oh no, I was laughing because I think when he was showing JD Builder, he was going super fast like that, and it's like, oh, hold on, people need to follow this. But I thought that's okay. He's also getting ready for a trip to the States pretty soon, so he's got a lot of stuff. Excuse me.
But fortunately, I was able to follow him. He really was. I mean, that's exactly what we were. That's what I wanted, and that's what I was trying to do. But I wasn't thinking to create my own variable to do it.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do is, and maybe what we can look at is, or what we should have done, is this. Let's go here. Are people what's on the? Yeah, okay. So let's go here to no secrets. I accidentally erased my browser history yesterday trying to tell it to forget about a certain site, so nothing comes up anymore.
I don't know what certain site you're trying to avoid. Is it iLevel Time Radio?
No, I changed an IP on a client's site and it kept going up to the wrong one, so it's like All right, so first of all, so let's do this here. / administrator. All right, so let's.
Oh, we all know your password now. It's ...
Yeah. So if we go to extensions, templates. And what I want to do first of all back here is I'm going to go Control A, Control Copy, and I'm going to post this into a new notepad. Bootstrap for slideshow. All right, so now because what I want to do is go to here and go to create an override. No, let's do it this way. Extensions, plugins. repeatable fields. I'm going to copy this. Is that right? Is that what we're talking? Repeatable fields. No, that's what did Mark say for creating? We're just copying one.
I don't know. I'm trying to do it based on just copying all the files and changing the names of them.
Yes, yes, Mary. Let's see. Mary said, "What a nice guy." Yes, he is. And Brian said, "Well, he's so fast, he didn't get it all." You have to see the replay. Yes.
That's what I was referring to when I said that Chayton was fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I didn't have the chat up for that. So let's see here. Let's just. So I can't copy this. So I think. Let's go templates again. Asteroid template 0. Plugins. Fields. And we've got repeatable field. All right, which means that in HTML, plugin fields repeatable, there's this. I'm going to rename this slideshow. And rename that. Yeah.
But that's not going to work because it does not recognize slideshow as a field.
No, but it's an override. So what we need to figure out next, because if we go create overrides, fields.
So what I'm doing right now, which nobody can see, but I'll just tell people what I do it, is I actually went into the back end or into base, because since this is a local host, I can just go in my Explorer and find the field. I found the repeatable field on my computer, so where it normally is. I copied that folder. I renamed all the file names from repeatable to slideshow, and I'm going in to each one of the files that are in that field and making sure that anything that says repeatable now says slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what essentially I'm doing is creating a new plugin.
Brian says, "Can you show it, Vinny?" Go ahead and
I don't even know if this is working yet. So
okay.
If I can get it working,
Oh,
I will definitely walk everybody through what I did. Of course, I have to go into the language files as well. Change those too.
There's got to be a way, because it's right here in options, layout. Choose an alternate layout, and it says it's using default. Let's close that. We can close that.
Well, see, the problem with the layout is not separated by each field itself. It's just laid out as the whole field. how it exports the field itself. So any field can be under the layouts.
Oh, and of course. All right, let me let me do this in Protostar. Do the layout and do the override in Protostar first and see if that shows up. Because I'm doing a layout, but it's not even. No, that should make a difference.
Heck, if I can figure this out, I might actually just export this out so anybody could just install the UIkit plugin.
Okay, so I am here. I've got asteroid template 0. Templates. There we go. Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to Protostar. I'm going to go to create an override in Protostar in the fields and repeatable. And then so HTML and plugin fields repeatable. I'm going to rename this file Protostar repeat. Proto repeat and rename that. Now if I go here and go into the slide image field, layouts, no. Joomla Custom Fields layouts. I don't think that's what I want. Well, so you're thinking that the layout is for the back end, not how it displays.
No, it's not for the back end. Actually, Peter's. If you go to Peter's description, he actually. It's a second. Yeah. No, it was. So he's So basically, you're creating a layout, and I looked at the code of that layout field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can create a custom field of a layout. It's laying out how the field and the label and so that area of stuff, but it doesn't actually lay out the actual field itself. What we did with the repeatable override is
I just wanted to show in here alternate layout.
Yeah, that will show up there, but it won't be it won't show you a different repeatable field if you had multiple repeatable fields. It will just show you different layouts based on how the label, like if you wanted the label underneath the field itself, you can do that in layout.
Okay.
so popular?
Yeah.
Well, when you install stuff, like you install a plugin, there is so many things that it does when you install that plugin. Trying to do this manually is a pain in the butt. And then I gotta get it to recognize in Joomla itself, which I probably can do that in HTML.
Okay.
This is what's great about open source stuff, is you can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
When you have stuff that's closed, you don't have access to all this stuff, and then you have licenses that say you can't reverse engineer this.
Yeah.
It's amazing we still have at least 6 people watching us
Yeah.
do this, or five.
Yeah, I know Brian's working on it there, and Mary's often listening. Well, she works away, or she's looking into it, and yeah, it's 20 after 1, so we're going for over 2 hours. This seems to me that if you I don't think I'm I wonder if I create an what happens now if I create an override for fields repeatable. Go in here. That's the other thing about learning new stuff. And then you just it's like hitting the red light turns green, and you hit the accelerator, and next thing you know, you're sitting at the next red light.
Yeah, pretty much.
Layout. Use default render options. I think people are talking about it in here, but
It's only 420 here.
so can you? Says this feature is not ready to override. All right, let's go back. Find something else. Read something else. That's not what we want. Is this it here? Yeah, see, they've got articles, new field. Oh, if this is it, that'll be good. Oh, that makes sense. If it could be new field. Repeatable. Yeah, Brian, I'm just looking for a way. All right, so I've done that. What I'm trying to figure out is this. I've made the override, the plugin override, and I renamed it Proto Repeat. And this is in Protostar. What I'm looking for a way is to get it to show up as something to choose for an alternate layout in the field. So just as like the custom over layouts for content, you can pick out different ones that go with different that you've created for different templates. But this one is not showing the options. And what we see here, let me close this, and this one that I'm looking at. See here, articles, new field, and then here they show the option to choose an alternate layout, and you can choose it from Protostar.
Right, but like I said, those alternate layouts,
Yeah.
they're just the laying out the field itself. All fields can use the same alternate layouts. You're not specifying how you want a particular type of field. You're not laying out the type of field. You're laying out that field itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's a yeah, but let's see. Alternative layout for a custom field. Would you like to be able to change the HTML rendering of a custom field using alternate layouts? Yes. In your template, create a new substitution file by clicking on New. Yeah. So In the pop-up window, select on the left source file for your substitution. HTML layouts Joomla form field. But what is new in Joomla 3.9 is it's possible to assign alternate layout in the configuration of any field. Indeed, when you edit one of your custom fields in a site running Joomla 3.9, a new parameter will be available in the Options tab, this layout. But who did this, by the way? This looks like Marc Dechevre. Yeah, I thought it looked like his. That's who I should know. We should call him in France and wake him up. Belgium.
He's in Belgium.
Crap. Brian asked, does it show up when I just create the new field? Let's try that. New field. And we've a repeatable field, and let's just put in something here. IMG, and we'll just go media, and we'll save. No, but in his article here, let's follow his steps. Let's just find his steps. Would you like to be able to change HTML rendering of a custom field? Yes. If you're in your template, create a new substitution file by clicking on New File. In the pop-up window, select on the left the source for your substitution. HTML layouts Joomla form field. This is probably what he was talking about in the live stream. So let's close this. And maybe this is where I want to close. All right. So I go New File, and he's okay. I'm gonna have to follow along here. So let's make this another tab. All right. New File, right? In the pop-up window, select on the left the source for your substitution. So New File. So HTML layouts Joomla form field. HTML layouts Joomla form field. Okay. Give the name. All right. So Mark example. And the type is going to be PHP. And I create. Okay. So now I've got form field. Okay. The process is okay. Finally, click the Create button. Okay. I did that. The process is already possible in your sites in Joomla 3 and allows you to create an alternative layout for the rendering of an article module. What is new with Joomla 3.9 is that it will be possible to assign the alternate layout in the configuration of any field. Indeed, when you edit one of your custom fields in site running, a new parameter will be available in the Options tab. So that means if I've done this right, and I go to Slide Image, I should have crap. Form field. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, well, I'm maybe going to have to revisit this. Oh, I noticed this. Would you like to be able to change the HTML rendering of a custom field? Close. Let's try this new field. All right, well. Hey, Vinny, is your Stephen just asked if he can see your screen to see the process of what you're doing. Are you still there?
I am still here.
Did it work?
I don't know yet. I'm actually
So what you did you go onto the file space and copy it and then
Oh yeah.
in File Manager?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
I gotta tweak the language files, but so far so good.
Hello, Stephen. It's great to see you again. Yeah, because creating if you could just duplicate the thing, it would be great.
It's a bit of a process, just so you know.
Seems that building your own custom field.
Yeah, it didn't quite work.
No.
I got everything until the point where I try to put it into the article, and it's just blank here. The repeatable's not. So there's something I missed in a step.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, it can be done.
Are you doing it in the file manager on your hosting?
No, I have this on my local host.
Oh,
so
okay.
I have a WAMP server on. So I created all this stuff. I copied the fields.
This is funny. I just came across I just accidentally found a tutorial on to do a custom field plugin shows images from a selected folder in an owl carousel. So it's definitely. Okay, Brian. Thanks a lot for watching and helping and asking questions and helping us troubleshoot here today.
Sorry to keep you up so late.
Yeah, no, get some stuff done. Yeah, we'll see you on Monday. All right. Well, I think that I have on a window here. Let's try this. My C panel. Let's go to File Manager.
So what I was able to do, I was able to copy the plugin.
Yeah.
Edit all the just under fields. Edit the copy so it all said slideshow instead of repeatable.
Yeah.
So you copy the entire folder. You change everything so instead of saying repeatable, it says slideshow. I had to manually add it into PHP My Admin so it would show up in the list. But that's where I'm kind of stuck because it shows up in the list. I can select it. I can create it.
Is it?
But
Does it have? Did it make tables inside the database?
No, and see that's where I'm thinking I don't.
What if you go discover on your site and see if it finds it and installs it?
Oh, that's an idea. I always forget about that. So I'm going to get rid of the. Field slideshow.
Did that do it?
We'll find out. It discovered it. I just installed it. So I'm going to create the field. That was a good idea, Tim. I entirely did not even think about that. You know how often I install plugins that are not using the Okay, it doesn't show up in my list of why is it? There must have been something. Definitely something I'm going to play with.
I'm just playing around with it on the file manager here too. So extensions, manage, discover, plugin fields repeatable. It found that, but I don't want it to be called plugin fields repeatable. Plugin name, plugin fields. Slideshow. Install. Oops. Maybe I haven't changed enough things here. Let's get chat back up on here too.
I'm gonna have to take a look at the because there's a lot more. Yeah, I got to that point, but then it doesn't even put it in my list. So somewhere in it, I didn't tell it to add it to the list.
Steven, you want to post that link again? I just gave you a wrench. Do 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 do. Yeah, post the full. Post the full.
Eric, we're still at it.
Yeah. I am freezing cold because I have the heat turned. I have the fan on our electric fan turned off and no heat down here and no of a sweater. I wasn't expecting to be here.
Yeah, well, I didn't turn my heat on either, so I'm cold too. So we're doing this together.
I got an error when I was trying to discover, so.
Steven, link that thing.
Put a link on it.
There you go.
Yes, here's maybe. Okay, so do. Yes, you've been promoted. You've been wrenched. How do you use custom field articles? Users and Joomla fields. No, I think it was not.
Well, that's not exactly what we're looking for. I just need to convert my field stuff into a I need the repeatable field file, that the install file. I need that. I know it comes with Joomla, but I need that. That way I can edit all the correct files.
Oh yes, to go through the basic tutorial. Stephen, did you watch the live stream from last week? We've got 2 hours and what was that? It was like 2 hours and 50 minutes going through with Mark DeChevre. What am I missing in this here? Repeal. Plugin function.
You got to change all that text in there too. That says anything that said repeatable, you want it to say slideshow.
I just want to change where it's making its own little tables. Yes, Eric, I have been using Workona. I have. Yeah, Stephen, check that video out. It was really good. Mark went through 20 steps to create he made a website on that live stream with a recipe site and ingredients, and yeah, it was really really good. I look even more organized today. Well, that's because I don't know. I actually did create it last night. It had all the tabs, and then I went in today to the Workona workspace, and then I opened them all up to get open what I needed. So yeah, I'm figuring that out. Edit them. I think I'm in there. That one last week is on my channel. So the Joomla Shack one, Carlos Camera did one on overrides. The custom fields one is on my channel. I can, I'll post you the link for it here. Let's see. Oh boy, where do I go to get to my channel? There we go. Copy link address. There's also a part 1 to this video as well, where he showed things that were possible. So, what are you laughing at?
You.
Why? Well, yeah, no, we're really Stephen, we're really enjoying custom fields. I'm enjoying it now. The other I think what I did the other day, I set up a demo for someone, a client, and I wanted to show some different options for downloading PDFs. So I actually used the JCE editor downloadable file custom field, created that, and I just went in and selected a PDF and it automatically put it in. So that was really good. I do not know why. When you discovered yours, it just included it, right? Like it just worked.
Yeah, well, no, it discovered it. It added it to the database, but it didn't add it to the fields drop down when you're trying to select a field.
Oh, it didn't create a menu item.
No, I'm in the kind of same boat as you are.
Yeah, well, you're ahead of me because when I tried to discover it. Can you go to the file manager and search for instances of slideshow? Yes, let's see here. And I will do it in just this file here. Overrides that basic Joomla. No. Sushi. No, where am I? Yeah, and I'm starting to. There we go. And I'm going to search this current directory for slideshow. Field slideshow, no secrets, field slideshow.php. And I've renamed something. I've done something. Yeah, we just want to copy. If it's too bad, it's just not as easy as like copying a module. But because somewhere there's got to be so that when you install it, when it gets discovered, it gets its own type added to it. It might almost be easier to make your own custom field, and then copy in the overrides. So, I'll wait.
I'm finding that it
go ahead.
Doesn't. I would love to have a version of the repeatable field in its install if you manually installed it.
Yeah.
Then I could pick apart all the things that it has in it.
Yeah. Well, I think
to find them.
I think what I'll do is I will. I think it's probably something our minds will keep running on this, and let's see. Make this big here. Come on. Good. Let's see. Try to get this open here. Oh, I gotta stop sharing. That's why. There we go. That'll make me. So I think what I'll do is I'll wait until Mark is awake. Unless, of course, we'll let this keep perking in our minds and see. Someone will figure it out. And certainly hit me up on the Facebook group or tweet me or tim@basicjoomla.com if you figure this out or some quick way to do it. And I'll tell Mark what I'm trying to do. Maybe he'll know. Or maybe I'll probably be talking to Chayton again after I get some breakfast. Hey, interesting thing. I was talking to my doctor the other day. I went for a flu shot. He told me about intermittent fasting, which was if twice a week you go like 16, 17 hours without eating, and it can be the time that you're sleeping, that your blood sugar level drops, and that the cancer cells that I guess happen all the time, that they really like sugar, and so it's a great way to just kill off those little guys when they show up. So I thought, hey, Mondays and Wednesdays is a great day for me to do that because I get up late anyways, but I was certainly not expecting to go, what are we at now, 2 hours? 2 hours as long as last week. So anyway, so I'm going to end that and go get some breakfast. Thank you, Vinny, for showing the part that worked.
You're welcome. Well, we got your part that worked too.
Oh, Eric wants to, okay, so here's the summary, Eric, of what we're trying to do.
Of what we're trying to do or what we did do?
Well, no, what you're trying to do is got in chat. I can show you that. Let me just share my screen again here.
Well, I can give them a quick summary.
Well, yeah, and
we created a slideshow using repeatable fields by creating an override for the repeatable field. However, that destroys the default repeatable field. So any repeatable field you use will use our slideshow, which may not be what you want. So what we're trying to do is create a copy of the repeatable plugin called Slideshow, so you actually have both.
Yes. That's what we're
and I'm
trying
getting
to do.
closer and closer to it.
What? Yeah. So, but yeah, because there's no way to do an override and to just select it and apply it does not work, which is the way that it should work. But oh my
I'm getting
goodness.
closer.
Oh yeah.
I'm figuring this thing out.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. We'll figure it out and we'll sum it up. We'll get it all.
What'll be funny is as soon as you
as soon as I hang up, you're gonna get it.
I'm gonna get
it. There's got to be an easier way, though.
Why does there have to be?
Well, even if you make the override and then if there's a way to just make a new, install a blank plugin and then plop in the, I don't know. Maybe there's not an easier way. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. Yeah. So thanks, Vinny, for that. And yeah, thanks everybody for hanging in there. We'll see what comes out of this. Anyways, learned some good stuff. Got some good coding tutorial there from Chayton. And alrighty. So where's my button here? Everybody, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Give the video a like. If somehow you're watching this on the reply and you made it right to the end, congratulations. Yes, all right, so I'm going to sign off. Everybody, enjoy